Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is Jazzy of the Store Sasquatch here, and we are doing another Throwback Thursday. Like I said, we're not really going to pay attention to old movies as much. I mean, we'll still do old movie stuff. We'll do a bunch of different stuff on this channel, but right now we're going to be focusing on some of the newer streaming services movies that are off to offer and what's coming out in the box office and stuff like this. So, in saying that, let's start off with Amazon's Playdate. Brian has just been fired from his job. He becomes a stay-at-home dad. He accepts a Playdate invitation from another stay-at-home dad who turns out to be a loose cannon. Directed by Luke Greenfield and stars Alan Rickinson, Kevin James, and Banks Pierce as CJ, and Benjamin Pejak as Lucas. Alan Tudyk's in this movie. Stephen Root's also in this movie as Fisher, plays a pretty good character in this movie as well. I definitely enjoyed this movie. I think that for what it is worth watching. When I say that, I mean this movie is just like an hour and a half, cheap thrill kind of action comedy deal where they pick two people who know how to be real funny, and Alan Rickinson and Kevin James, and they made a very good, well done movie here. It's obviously for the family. It's PG-13. There's nothing like too wild about the story or too wild about any of the dialogue that doesn't mean you can't sit down and watch it with a family. And I think that was the whole point and the approach of this whole movie, especially when you kind of get into like the goofier parts of the story. Which is another thing I like to say is like when you do these movies like this, and you kind of treat the source material as like not like totally real, but like wink in the eye real, to where like you kind of know like yeah, it's being um, a little over top of what we're doing here, but of what real life would be, but it's still able to kind of stay into the reality of it and not just kind of be like a parody for a parody's sake. And this is one of those good movies that do that. And it helps with someone like Alan Rickinson, who has been an action star lately, but also came in as a comedy star with Blue Mountain State. And Kevin James, who's just a funny guy and can actually kind of throw his weight and be like real aggressive because he is a little bit believable. Like if he threw a punch, he would definitely hurt you. So it is definitely an exciting movie. I would check it out. Is on Amazon Prime. Um, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff about this movie. The kid actors are good in it. Action is decent in it. So I would probably give this like a good, solid B minus movie. I would watch it on Prime, and that is Playdate, directed by Luke Greenfield, I believe. Yep, Luke Greenfield. And then the second movie we're going to talk about here just popped up on Peacock via the cinema, so we'll actually have a little bit more to talk about as money wise here. In a suburban dad, Hutch Hansel, a former lethal assassin, is pulled back into a violent past after thwarting a home invasion, setting off a chain of events. Directed by Tihanto, stars Bob Odenkirk, Connie Nelson, Christopher Lloyd. I believe a lot of people popped up in this one. Colin Hanks, John Ortiz, Sharon Stone popped up, RZA. Um, yeah, I mean that's a good. That's Colin Solomon from the Archerverse there popped up in this. This is a good, solid movie. I mean, nobody was good. This is the same thing, action, kind of funny to have it into where you're fighting on the ducks like you're on the dells and stuff like this. So it was good. It had a budget of 25 million. It had an opening weekend at 9.25. I bet we covered that on this channel because we would have been covering that, and then the gross wild worldwide is 41 million. So I mean, you can't really argue with that movie. It definitely made its money back. Definitely was worth it for everyone involved. I'm sure that if they really wanted to, they could do a number three, and we would all sit here and enjoy it like we did like this. Bob Odenkirk, kind of just simple, easy, like kind of funny guy to play this kind of a role where they're doing normal man type deal here, and then he ends up being a lethal assassin. There is a lot of cool action in this. They do blow up a lot of shit. It is worth watching. And that one is Nobody 2 is on Peacock, and you can check that out. And then our weekend box office totals. So in my video, I thought that Wicked would have been counted on the weekend box office because it did have its own release. It wasn't the Wicked for Good, the second one, but it was the original one. It did do a 2 week stint, but they didn't count it. And I guarantee that they did kind of beat this number just by looking into the theaters and seeing like the crowd of people when we were getting popcorn. When I was getting popcorn and stuff like that at the theaters. But for this weekend, for the opening weekend for Now You See Me, Now You Don't, it did 21 million, and that's pretty decent. I think that's about where they were tracking at. The Running Man at 16 million, that's disappointing. I've heard all the stories about how it's disappointing for that movie. I mean, it just didn't have any substance to it. And I think you can have an action movie without substance, but I think that the ending was dumb. I think that they changed too much stuff. The bad guys suck. There's just so much bad about that movie. And then Predator Badlands on the second weekend at 13 million for a total of 16 million. So it is running strong. I believe I even saw that it is one of the best performing Predators of all time, which is awesome that they can do that. This is another kind of quick throwback Thursday. I kind of like how we're doing it right now. We'll be doing more and more. We're just kind of jumping into everything and kind of starting over. So this is how we're gonna go about it from now on out. We do have the fan theory tomorrow. My first ever fan theory. It's not like too wild, but it is on Scream. And I do have a couple of like points to point out to why I believe what I believe just by watching the movies. So maybe I can screen grab some of them, hopefully, and put them on here with it. Thank you guys for very much for watching, and please have a good rest of your day or night.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment your top movie picks for Throwback Thursday in the comment section. And see you next time in the cave.